Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a surprise one-day Easter ceasefire in Ukraine on Saturday, but Ukraine says it never really took hold. Putin's order called for a halt to all military activities for 30 hours, starting from 6 p.m. Moscow time on Saturday until midnight on Sunday night. The Russian leader described the move as a humanitarian gesture and urged Ukraine to follow his lead. He also warned Russian troops to be ready to respond to any violations by Ukrainian forces. But Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky quickly dismissed Putin's ceasefire as just a pretense, accusing Russian forces of continuing artillery attacks even during the declared truce period. Zelensky had also said that Russia had previously rejected a more extended ceasefire proposal brokered last month by the United States, showing that he says that Moscow cannot be trusted. Just an hour before the ceasefire was set to start, air raid sirens sounded across Kiev. Warnings were also briefly issued in the Ukrainian capital and surrounding areas for about 4 hours after the truce was supposed to begin. On Easter morning, President Zelensky reported on social media that Russian forces were only creating a false impression of a ceasefire and in some areas were still trying to advance and inflict losses. Meanwhile, in Moscow, Putin joined Mayor Sergei Sobyanin and Patriarch Kirill, the head of Russia's Orthodox Church, for an Easter service at the iconic Cathedral of Christ the Saviour. Patriarch Kirill is a known supporter of Putin and has constantly backed the war in Ukraine. The announcement of the temporary ceasefire came just after the US warned it might abandon peace talks within days unless Moscow and Kiev demonstrated that they were serious about negotiating. But with fighting reportedly continuing despite Putin's announcement, trust between Ukraine and Russia remains low and a lasting ceasefire still appears out of reach. For more global issues explained, follow NewsX World.